Are we live? I believe we are. Welcome, everyone, to our daily success call for Friday, Fun Friday, the 9th of July, 2021. John Lavinia here with you, as I was going to say, as always, but I wasn't here with you yesterday. Did you guys miss me? Yeah, I know Missy missed me because her name is Missy. And good to see Vicky. And look at all these awesome people that we got here. Let's take a quick look at this all-star cast. There's Rob's Furniture. Hi, Rob's Furniture. There's William, Missy. Of course, we got Karina here. Good to see you, Karina. Michelle, Nancy, Denny, also known as Denise, who's awesome. Clara, good to see you. There's Leslie and Chris, Catherine, Denise Jensen, we just heard from. She's great. Kimberly's here. Good to see Kim, Vicky, and MLUTC, who is unmuted and doesn't have the camera on, but good to see that you are here. Judith, Rosemary, Matthew, Jean-Jacques, good to see you. Fred,
Hi,
Rob.
everybody.
Hey, I just met Rob. Rob's a good guy. In fact, Rob, we're gonna talk about something you brought up today. Kelly's here, and Jayden, who is at fault for that pre-recorded 6 a.m. thing that I did yesterday. Good to see you. And everyone else who I can't even fit on the screen. This is becoming a legion of participants. So good to see you. Glad to be back. I'm actually in, as you know, I'm on vacation. Well, if we can call it that, I'll mute all and then we can unmute as we like. But I'm visiting some family members here on the East Coast, which is not some place that I've shown up too often as of late. So we're doing the family thing. And yeah, we could still do business everywhere we go. I want to say a special welcome and congratulations to all of our brand new members, some of which I just met. A couple of them are right here in the, you just saw a couple of them in the room. And I've got some ideas that I want to share based on what I've been hearing around the community. So before I do that though, it is Friday. You know what that means, right? Fun Friday, somebody's got to tell a joke. That's one of our policies here, by the way. We got 3 policies. Number 1, if you can't be on time, be early. Second policy, if a dog barks while your microphone is unmuted, you must present the dog so that we can all enjoy the dog. Okay, a lot of dog lovers. Policy number 3, somebody's got to tell a joke on Friday. Who's got a joke? Come on out and tickle our ribs. Or if you got a dog, cat, goat, pigeon, rat, anything, any animals are welcome on here. Who would like to steal the show? Oh my goodness, nobody? Oh, please help me here, folks. Help me. Otherwise, I'm going to have to tell you jokes and I don't have a dog to show you here or anything. Hey, Kim.
I'll tell you a joke.
Come on, Kim, you got the floor. And then we're going to go to Kim, and then we'll go to Alanna and Julia. Kim's got the floor.
What kind of music do they play at Stonehenge?
I don't know.
Hard rock.
Hard rock. Okay, very good. And rated G. Thank you very much. There's children in the room. Thank you, Kim. All right, Alanna, Julia.
Yes, we have Copper here.
Oh.
And don't know if you can see him, but we have Simon back there. Do you see him?
No, I see the false background. I'm getting a.
Okay, we're driving.
Okay. Yeah, the false background's kind of killing the show. But I got to see your dog. It looked like he was wearing leather. Was that correct?
Yeah, he's pretty cool dog.
Very cool. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. You guys drive safe. Drive safe
Thanks.
over there. All right. Cynthia, you're going to come out here, and then Leslie. Hey, Cynthia.
Hello. Okay.
Hey.
So with a nod to gardening season, why was the tomato red?
I don't know. Why?
Because he saw the salad dressing.
Oh, okay. The salad dressing. Very good. Thank you. All right. And we got, let's see, was it Leslie? Hey, Leslie.
Hey, okay, joke of the day is I told my friend she was drawing her eyebrows on too high. She looked surprised.
There you go.
Good one.
Well done. And all family friendly. Very nice. Very nice. All right. Shall we get down to business? All right. So what, oh, I see, Natalie, what do you call a guy who uses watches as a belt to hold up his pants? A waste of time. Good stuff. Thank you. All right, so here's what's coming up for me today. I just got to meet with some of our new members every day. In fact, multiple times a day. We're packing the room with new members just so we get to kind of meet and make this real. I don't have, well, I like to share a couple tips, things that I've noticed that can help people avoid overwhelm and confusion, because as a performance coach or whatever they're calling me here, then yeah, that's important, is that you guys can actually take the training information that you get and do something profound with it, right? I mean, it's not new data, it's the same data for anyone, but who's doing it, right? Hopefully somebody who can create some order in their mind and in their operations. Okay, and we've talked about this before in various capacities, and we'll talk about it lots more. It's a recurring theme. It keeps coming up and up and up. But I was thinking about how we are effective in our businesses or not relies very much on how we're perceived in the marketplace. And we could do this on a macro sense and on a micro sense. In fact, I was just taking this up with my mastermind group because Rob had hit me with something that kind of impinged on me and got me thinking about what's the difference. Here's the question, everyone. What's the difference between how you show up, how you occur in the marketplace, in life, right? With your customers, with, my goodness, family members, anyone that you interact with. What's the difference between how you show up and how others show up, or how you showed up in the past and how you intend to show up moving forward? Because you can be deliberate about this. There's a concept from that book that I gave you all a couple of days ago, free copy if you downloaded it, Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles. One of the concepts in the book, which he wrote a whole chapter about, was the impression of increase, the impression of increase. And that is that as the advancing man or advancing woman, that everyone you come into contact with should in some way, and you can choose this, you could choose to show up like this, should experience you, should perceive you as a person of increase, of advancement. He said, even if, keep in mind, this was written in 1910. He said, even if you're just selling a stick of candy to a child, when that child leaves the general store or whatever it is, right, they experience the impression of increase. Okay, why? Why is that important? Well, do they come back to your store? Because they can go to the other guy's store and buy candy too. Oh, they're coming back to your store because they like buying candy from you. Do they bring their friends? Oh yeah, we got to go buy candy, from Leslie because she has the nice store. And they may not be able to vocalize, right? Because we're talking just an impression now, not necessarily, an entire philosophy or something that we could vocalize. But for some reason, I just like Leslie's store to buy the candy. Okay. You don't have to, yeah, right. Thank you, Leslie. So you impressed that other being with increase. You can do this when you've got enough confidence in yourself that you're not introverting. Okay. A lot of times when people confront the idea of sales and marketing and the whole game that we're in here, and they confront that for the first time, or let's say they're like sitting across from a customer, right? They're trying to have a sales conversation or something, which is very clunky and awkward for a lot of people. Oh my goodness, what are they going to think? Am I doing it right? What do they think of me? I hope I can, do what I'm supposed to do. Does that sound introverted? Yeah, it is very introverted, like me. Now you only have so much attention. Right. And if we're spending most of it on ourselves, trying to do it right, or being so damn concerned with how we're showing up, or being eloquent, or asserting our rightness, or defending our position, or whatever that stuff is about, then how much attention do we have to invest in the person we're attempting to serve? I mean, you only get so much attention, right? So can we be extroverted on that? Can we seek to impress that person with increase? Because I'm already okay. I'm the advancing man. I'm good, right? This isn't for me. This is for you. So now let me extrovert. Let me put the majority of my attention on you. The way to do it right is to know that you're doing it right. And if I lead with purpose beforehand, right? A forethought. I'm going into this transaction or this social media post or this broadcast or this interaction with my daughter or whoever, right? With the intent, yes, the intent to cause them to feel like their life is better having met me, then whatever words come out or whatever words that come out, I don't need to be eloquent or assert, my knowingness or something. I know. In fact, Lao Tzu said, those who know do not speak. Those who speak do not know. Okay, so do with that what you will, but I don't need to spend a whole lot of time convincing you. And it occurs totally different. If I was on here right now, think about this. Think about how many less people we'd have on here and how much less engaged those people who suffered through it would be if I was reading a script to you and giving you theories that I personally haven't experienced in my own life. That's pretty thin. That's pretty thin. So what's the agenda there? That's what you'd be thinking. What's the, and why are we spending time on that? Is this something that, again, you need to assert, like, this is true, even though you don't appear to be applying it in your own life? No, there's a lot of, here's where I'm going with this. There's a lot of false prophets online. Maybe you've experienced this. I know Rob has, right? And here's the guru of the, of the whatever, and they're your, modern day Messiah or something. You know what? I don't need a modern day Messiah, and you don't either. Okay, role models, yeah, role models. Yeah, let's model. If there's something you could take from something I've offered you, great. If I'm the ideal scenario compared to where you're at now in some aspect of life or business, great. Take what you like, and leave the rest. Right? I'm not your guru. In fact, the first chapter of my book, Integrity is Everything, the title of the first chapter is Meet the Guru, which sounds kind of arrogant, right? Well, no, it's not. I'm not talking about myself. I'm actually talking about you. But the so when we think about that, how we experience those who we confront, right? That also goes in the other direction. How are others going to experience you when you start putting out your wares? Because right, I mean, somebody has to originate what's printed on the shirt, the cup, the whatever the stuff is, right? Who originated that, right? And what impression are you making on the person? Now, this doesn't mean that you only focus on, inspirational quotes or something, although, okay, but there's sarcasm, there's jokes, there's offensive, right? So whatever, there's as the saying goes in the sales world, there's an S for every seat, right? So decide what market you're serving, right? And serve it. So but do it deliberately, and do it with the confidence and the conviction and the inner validation. Okay, impressing yourself with increase. Like, you know what? I've done my research. We're going to go ahead and we're going to serve this market, and we're going to do it in such a way that they bring their friends and they come buy the sticks of candy at my store because I got the candy over here and it's tasty, and you know it, and it's tasty. Now they're going to know it. Metaphorically speaking, right? Tasty candy. The thing that prompted this in my mind was when our new friend Robert here was talking about the difference that he and others have experienced when confronting Rachel and the whole opportunity, the whole offer to even be in this group, and how different that occurred than here's the guy with the rented Lamborghini and the bikini chicks on the yacht, right? And all the big ostentatious display. Look at me, I'm so important, I'm your guru, right? So we didn't get that here. That show doesn't actually happen here. I mean, you can have Lamborghinis and yachts if you want. I don't know about the bikini chicks and all this, but I mean, do whatever you want to do, okay? But we're not shoving it in your face. Like, look at me, how important, how special. I've got the secrets. Again, it's the same data. Right. So anybody can show up and do internet stuff. Right. Rachel will save you a lot of time, by the way, because she knows how to do that stuff and get the low hanging fruit, hence the title. Okay. So she's an expert in that area and can be a role model in that area for you. Should you choose. And everyone here clearly who's a student has chosen that. Fantastic. And is that something that you can duplicate? Like, in other words, is this something where now we're going to have a guru on a pedestal or something? No, hold on a second. She's accessible, and this is what I was being acknowledged for today was how real and sort of accessible mentally, right? Accessible, emotionally accessible. How real this is. There's no pretense here, which, by the way, is why I'm here, right? When this community started to grow to the point where it is now, and we're just getting started. I'll tell you, this is exploding. But as more and more people got into this space and decided, you know what, let me sign on with, some training, let me take some control back of my immediate and ongoing financial future, who would really, be, well served in the seat, who would be someone who could assist people in really taking this training and putting it to tremendous use, making a spectacle of themselves. And so my name came up again and again and again, and they twisted my arm, and it took about a month, and now here we are. Right. So, because I'm running for businesses, I'm a madman. I often say I am busier than a one-legged man in an ass kicking contest, so this was like, a big deal for me to put in place all the stuff that we've got going on here. But when I saw what was going on here and I saw the reality of it, that just speaks volumes. And I think a lot of you are experiencing that for yourself. And I'm not saying we're going to sit around and sing Kumbaya and pass the collection basket, right? Although we could certainly do that. Teddy, I'm going to go ahead and mute your mic. We've got a couple unmuted mics there. And then I do want everyone to come out and speak here in just a minute. But the idea that this is something worth putting some attention on, because not only do we suspect that it's right because of, here, look at the testimonies, look at the results, the fruit is on the tree, right? By their fruits, you'll know them. That's kind of cool. But also in our heart, we perceive something which we may not be able to vocalize, like the child who buys the stick of candy at Leslie's store. I'm giving Leslie a lot of love today, right? Who experienced the impression of increase. It doesn't know what the words behind it, but experienced it nonetheless, right? We know we're on the right path because of those intangible things. There's a saying, perhaps you've heard it, fake it till you make it. Anybody heard that? Yeah, BS. I call BS on that, right? You be it before you do it, and you do it before you have it. Ain't no faking this, right? And that's why you may have perceived a bit more authenticity, reality, lack of pretense, right? No need to assert self-importance. Teddy, you're unmuted again. It's a weird phenomenon that's going on with your devices there, which would be fine if you didn't have background noise, but you do. So good to see you though, brother. Glad you're here. But do you perceive that for yourself? Now, here's the question. Let's turn that around, right? So we just inflowed that. So how do we outflow that? Deliberately, okay? How do we show up? Hi, Luz. How do we show up as someone who impresses people with increase, as Waddles called the advancing man, right? How do you show up as that? Well, you got to be good with who you are and where you're going. And that's where your own personal integrity comes in. That's where this whole mindset and the idea of personal growth. Luz, are you in the gym? That's cool. You watching while you work out? Oh man, sign me up. Where are you? I'm headed over right now. All right. But that's where your own personal integrity comes in. In other words, you can't extrovert. You can't put your attention outside the windshield at all the stuff you should be putting your attention on if you're introverted and inside trying to figure out if you even know how to use the controls. And that's why I say integrity is everything. If I don't got me, I got no shot. I'm gonna serve you now. I'm gonna serve you. This guy who can't even follow his own rules is gonna serve you. I'm mad. And that's the false prophet thing that so many people have experienced. You know what? I'm gonna see if I can lock the screen on Luz real quick. This is awesome, you guys. This is, you guys see that? You see that? She is doing it. There's integrity right there. I don't know if you guys can see this or if you just can picture in your mind. She's doing her exercise. That's right. Not talking about it, not belaboring it. All right. That's called integrity, right? Give yourself a command and then follow it. As within, so without. You know what? I'm about ready to hit the deck and start doing some push-ups right now. Let me stop talking. Maybe that's what we'll do from now on Fun Friday is we'll whoever's talking, everybody else is exercising. You guys got some thoughts on this? Please feel free to come out. Oh, Denise is asking a question. John, besides Integrity is Everything, you say you had other books. Yes, I wrote How to Prosper in a New Economy. It was a short book, which is now out of print. And also No More Blind Spots, which is sort of an ebook for people who are looking at how to overcome blind spots in their life via coaching and mentoring and modeling, right? Things that we were just talking about. And I've got 2 more in my brain. I just have not taken the time, like full-size books. I have not taken the time to actually spit them out because so many people want me to work on their stuff with them. So again, I'd rather be busy than bored. But yeah, I got more books coming out. So and courses and et cetera, et cetera. Who wants to talk? Please come on out. You can raise hands. Or Missy, you're unmuted.
Ready?
Yep. We're on
Um,
TV again. How did that happen, Missy?
it's a rerun. Oh, for God's sakes.
Yeah, you know what?
No.
No, don't bring God into this. No,
Wait.
no, hold on.
I can't talk. I can't talk. I thought you were God. Okay. That's my sister. She'll come here later. So
Okay.
Waddle's book, Wally, said something so profound that I know I read his book years ago, but he said the key to all of this is to hold on to the truth, which is not visible in your current circumstances, something like that. I'm paraphrasing it badly. And so we need to see ourselves as a successful, established entrepreneur that we are not yet, or we have to see ourselves as a well person, which I need to do. Very difficult when the 5 senses and everything around you is not, but I internalized. I've already told it to 3 people today, 1 in the hospital. And that's why it's so hard to think. That thing is the secret to doing it. But how to master it, it's just, I guess, other than just practicing it every day in the midst of very difficult struggles, I don't know of any other shortcut. If you know one, please tell me.
Oh, shortcuts like easy buttons and stuff.
Well, no, just another way maybe than just,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm doing it the heroic way because I'm
Okay.
not well.
Well, hold on. You're engaging in the hardest work known to man. All right. And that's called thought. Consecutive, deliberate thought. And in fact, Waddle said this is especially laborious when truth is contrary to appearances. When truth is contrary to appearances. This is the hardest work in the world. Okay, so there's no shortcut or easy button. But yes, habitually we've got these mental faculties. One of them is will, the use of will. In fact, he wrote a whole chapter, 2 chapters, because the other chapter was further use of the will, right? So he had more to say about that. All right. So when you look at what is the purpose of will, why do we have that mental faculty? To choose the right thoughts and to do that consistently enough. Here's your habits. Okay, to do that consistently enough that you get emotionally involved with the image of your great good, your truth, the truth of who you are, which is bigger than all these circumstances, by the way, which are contrary. Those appearances are contrary to the truth. Okay, it's the hardest work there is. And that's why we start each day with sit there, shut up, and remember who you are, right? And where you're going. Otherwise, what are we doing here? Right. So I know that's kind of heavy duty, but no, that is the work. That is the work. Those of you going through like the accelerator, if you when you go through that, you're going to be hearing a bit about mindset in there. And Rachel and I both agree that that's like 90-something%. I don't have like actual, specification sheets to show you, but I will tell you it's like most of the game is right here. Because again, the data exists for anyone. What did Waddle say in the book? 2 people engaged in the same activities can have totally different results. One gets rich, the other remains poor. Why? Read the book. You'll find out why. Some very specific words he uses on that. So thank you, Missy. Yeah, it's hard work. It's the work. It's the work, right? It's the thinking part, right? And then the so-called work, the business activities, that's the receiving actions. Right? Oh, let me go make the cups. That's the receiving actions. Okay. But here was the work. Awesome stuff. You're awesome, Missy. Keep being awesome. So we got Teddy is on. Hey, Teddy. Teddy, you want to come out here? And then we got Leslie and Matthew. Teddy. Teddy.
Oh,
You're
he's
unmuted. Not sure
frozen.
what's going on. Okay. Are we live? Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, Teddy, it's not working out. We'll come back to you. We do have Missy and then Matthew. Hey, Missy. I'm sorry,
No, no.
Leslie, and then Matthew. Hey, Leslie. I was looking at Missy when I was saying Leslie. Hi, Leslie.
Yeah. Oh, hello.
Hey.
Happy Friday. So I was just gonna kind of piggyback on Missy's. I think that is really huge. And you said if you know of any other better way. So I also take I'm a member of Mind Valley.
I'm on a Zoom call. Please stop.
Now both of Teddy's microphones are working. Okay, so we'll get back to Teddy here in just a minute. Hold on, you guys. I'm going to mute all, and then I'm going to ask Leslie to unmute. Come on, Leslie.
Okay, neat. There we go. Okay, so I was just going to say, like, I've done a lot of visualization in my life, and I've always had a more difficult time with it because I'm not a seer, I'm more auditory and feeling. But there is a program called the Silva Ultra Mind System in the Mind Valley program that does exactly that. It's just putting imagery up on screens, and it's hugely useful. So, you'd have to become a member and all that. But if you need a little extra help, that one's really useful.
Cool. Yeah. Well, there's lots of techniques and things like this, and so thank you for that. Have you personally benefited from that?
Oh, hugely.
Well,
Like
there you go.
I've been on a 30-day challenge with exercise and cleanse and all that. And it's just, I did it once and something snapped in my brain, and it's been a piece of cake. I mean, it's no resistance. So
Right.
it's been
Good.
really, really big. I mean, that system was created by Jose Silva back in the 60s.
Mhm.
And it's been around since then. It's kind of the forefront of a lot of these thoughts. And so it works, and it's really, really good.
Beautiful. Oh, you're getting some love in the chat. Woohoo, Leslie, you rock. So just in case you were wondering, now you know, you rock. All right. Thank you, my friend. So glad you're here.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Hey, Matthew's got the floor. Come on out, brother.
Yes, indeed. Can you hear me okay?
I can.
All right, awesome. So I just wanted to add on, when it comes to changing habits, changing oneself, any type of change that needs to be imposed where you're relying on yourself to make that change, it's imperative that you pay attention to the language that you use when you're talking about what your goals are. So for example, whether we're talking about spirituality, losing weight, changing your diet, if you call your practice, whatever your practice is, if you call it work, you have an energetic equivalent to using the word work. So for me in my life, the things that I do to change, I just call them practices, because practice has a different energy equivalent than me saying this is hard work, this is work. Work is something, if I'm honest, I try to avoid. Practice is something that I do because I know if I do it enough, I'll get whatever it is that I'm looking for. Does that make sense?
Sure.
So I just wanted to just to remind people, if you talk about the process of getting what you want, like it's hard, there's going to be a different experience that you have when you're trying to make it to that goal than just talking about it like, look, it's practice, Like in my case, I used to weigh 275 and I lost like 97 pounds.
Wow.
And, it changed my life. It changed the quality of my life.
I'd say.
And so I was just reminding, like, pay attention to the words that you use because they have energy attached to them. So that's all I want to say.
Beautiful. Great point, Matthew. And a lot of times people ascribe meanings to words that, or we add meanings, right, all the time. And so for me, work is on purpose action. That's the simplest definition of work. I mean, in the dictionary, right? So I love it. I love it. I mean, I love being on purpose and I love being in action. So I guess the alternative to work for me would be no purpose or no action. I like my work, right? So for me, that word works really well. There's that word again. Anyway, glad you're here, brother. Congratulations, 97 pounds. Crikey. Good times. All right. So everybody look for Matthew's fitness program. Have you published something on that, Matthew? I'm sorry, we got a little bit of background noise.
I've lost probably like 300 pounds in my life. Like lost the weight, gained it back, lost the weight, gained it back.
Wow.
Due to some, like, when I was a teenager, I was prescribed psychotropic medication, and that stimulated my appetite. And so it took years to overcome different things. And so it's just like, if you don't pay attention to what you're putting into your body, eventually you'll get to a place where you don't want to be, right? So.
Wow. Huge transformation. Thank you again, Matthew. All right. So let's go to Jayton, then Michelle, then DL. Hey, Jayton.
Hey guys, I'm hoping you can hear me. So I've connected via the computer. Great. So 3 things I just wanted to call out. Firstly, really very inspiring to hear Missy, Leslie, Matthew, and everyone else that's speaking. I think it's so great. Matthew, definitely with you on the 100-pound weight loss. Way to go, man. Been on that journey myself in different ways. Second thing, wanted to say that at this point in my journey, so I'm roughly about 2.5 weeks old, or maybe 2 weeks and a couple of days. I have to say, John, that these are the sessions that are the ones that are the most productive for me at this point in time. And this will go back to something I think I had shared last week, because right now I'm hitting a lot of roadblocks when it comes to the technology. And I'm acknowledging that. And I think your sessions are what are stopping me from taking the approach that I've always taken previously, which is to kind of go really hard when something is not working, and trying to really lash out or have a lesser constructive approach towards that. So your sessions are, I would say, the saving grace in this journey for me at this point in time. And they are also inspiring me to look at the next day with hope. So I'm obviously doing everything that I can to be productive. So this goes back to one of the other conversations we are having, where you can control stuff and where you can influence stuff, right? I can control my own actions, which is great. I know I can be productive on my own and do things which, for me, I know I can keep doing the work. And when the technology starts to come together, then I haven't wasted time, right? So all of this stuff which you are talking through, I think, is really important fuel for my mental, how should I say, capability to grow in that, right? So there's always, so for me in this, in the 3 actors of, you've got Rachel's team, you've got the technology, and you've got myself. I think the most I can control is my own actions and my behaviors and my attitude towards it. The coaching side of things, which you're doing right now, is really, really what is making the difference for me. And I'm hoping sooner rather than later that even the technology comes and falls in line, so that it's a perfect triangle in that sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, totally. I fully expect it
as well. So
yeah, just expect that, and then keep showing up. I mean, the problems are solvable. Things can be done about it. And so technology, this is not a technology business, as you're discovering, right? It's a much more subjective and creative experience via technology. We're talking via technology right now. Fine. Okay. And we have tech problems. Okay, fine. And we're dealing with big companies that, they have staffs and people and lots of variables there. So we'll navigate through all that. But so glad you're here, Jane. This is just the beginning. We're expecting big things from you, my friend. Thank you. All right. So I saw a couple hands up. Michelle, I believe, was next. And then I think I saw DL. Let's get Michelle out here. Where is Michelle? Come on, Michelle. Michelle Campau. Michelle.
Here I am.
There you are.
Hi, all. First of all, it's nice to be. This is my actual first video meeting with y'all. I signed up several weeks ago, but then took ill, not with the corona, but with the really bad infection, et cetera. So I'm behind a little bit. So hello. Secondly, to kind of piggyback off of Matthew, I think everyone has heard change your thoughts and change your destiny. A lot of times, like he was saying with work is a negative. So you learn to substitute words. You know, for work, it's progress or my progress, not my work. It's you can substitute positivity and put it into where you might get a reaction that is more negative. I find that I have used a lot of positive affirmations. I do them every day. I am successful. I am advanced. I am learning. I am growing. I am worthy. And I think a lot of times we feel like we might say them or, you know, outwardly, but as you said, not always do we believe it. And we have to learn to know we have worth and are worthy and that we will succeed. We are succeeding in just being here. We are already successful. And if you see yourself as successful, that's half the battle, I think. So that's really all. You have to have that mindset of success.
Thank you, Michelle.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and acknowledging it in ourselves is such a big thing because we could just as well invalidate ourselves, right? So you're talking about affirmation, which is a tool that we can use to actually execute autosuggestion. Napoleon Hill said in his classic book, Think and Grow Rich, this is the keystone and the arch of the entire philosophy, right? So autosuggestion, what are we telling ourselves about ourselves all day long? Great question. Are we aware of that? But as Earl Nightingale said, who was one of Napoleon Hill's understudies, who started Nightingale Conant, he said, success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. So the moment we take deliberate action towards a self-determined goal, in that moment, we're successful.
Absolutely.
So you speak sooth, right? Whether you've got the $1 million in your hand yet or not, you're successful.
That's right.
Awesome stuff. Thank you, Michelle. That's Michelle, everyone. She's awesome. All right. DL, who's come and gone. Where's DL? Where is my buddy DL? Are you here?
I'm right here, sir.
Hey, there he is.
How you doing?
Oh man, I'm doing good. Now I'm looking at Bugattis on the beach.
Amen. This is the white ones, man.
Yeah, for the variety.
So the question I'm asking, it's a bit embarrassing for me, which it shouldn't be, but it just because emotionally it kind of impacts me, but I'm sure maybe someone else might be thinking it. So over the years, I've done a lot of vision board stuff. I've done vision boards. I've done, as Earl Nightingale said, do the 30-day challenge and stuff. And I've done it. I'm going to say I've done it, but I've not been totally successful. Obviously, something in the equation has not been consistent somewhere, you know, and that's where I feel embarrassed to ask this question because I felt I should have been further ahead on certain things. Yeah, that's if you understand my question.
I don't think I understand the question. I understand you've got a past.
Well, what I'm saying is I've done some of these things before. Now, you know, since now meeting you again and joining the project, a lot of the stuff you're saying is not new, right? But now reiterating, doing it again, starting it over, trying it again. You know, you see what I'm trying to say? So I've done some of it, but I wasn't successful in the past. What might be the missing formulas that might have been, or, you know, if you got me.
Oh, okay. So what are the missing formulas? Now there's a question.
Like, this is not the first date. This is not the first rodeo.
Okay. So a couple of things. One is, how bad do you want it? Right. So here's the carrot. I could take it or leave it. All right. So how bad do you want it? Can we raise our necessity level to the point where we are willing to get a bit unreasonable with ourselves? Because reason is limited based on what we already know. Okay, we're gonna have to go past reason. Missy earlier was talking about 5 physical senses. I can see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. Nice. So can my dog. Okay, but we have higher mental faculties like the use of will and reason, and memory and intuition and imagination and perception, right? So these are things that are like any muscle, you use it or lose it. So do we have high enough of a necessity level to be willing to get out of our own way and say, I'm done playing half measures and playing to not lose. I am now playing to win. All chips on DL. All chips on DL. Okay, so that's actually what you're betting on, is you, right? So are you a good bet? Well, how bad do you want it? So it comes down to purpose, right? And when we're vague about our purpose, it's easy to get off the track because there's always going to be something more urgent, not more important, but more urgent for you to put your attention on. Remember, we only have so much attention. Okay. So,
Right.
so if you and, you know, Rockefeller or Trump or whoever have, you know, the same 24 hours in the day, you know, why are they making exponentially more than you? Right? Why are they? Well, it's the use of time. It's about leverage now, right? It's about leverage.
Right.
So,
Okay.
and I know you've got some big and significant and worthy reasons to actually, you know, step up. Okay.
Yes.
Here's the other part of it, though, brother. Here's the other part of it, because I know you. I know DL. DL and I go way back. I've known DL for like 3 weeks now, right?
Amen.
So, yeah, but the past is not equal to the future, and if we keep dragging it with us, right? I remember being in a seminar, and then we got more hands up now, so we're definitely going to get to everybody today.
And John,
yeah.
to add to what you said, even with what Matthew said before, which was a very good point, I'm very particular with my words. We don't have to go there, but remember the other day when you said something to me and I said, and you said, no, that's not what I said, well, that's what I meant. Remember, we had that conversation that I don't play with words. I don't use words like I'm dumb, I'm stupid, I don't play with that, because I believe every time you say I am, I'm releasing that energy to become that. So even that on top of it, I've been very careful with my words. You know, I don't take that lightly.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, it shapes communication, causes all the things that we shape in our circumstances. It was James Allen in As a Man Thinketh, which is a very short book. You can read it in one sitting.
Right.
But he said in chapter 2, the effect of thought on circumstances, man cannot choose his circumstances, but he can choose his thoughts, and therefore indirectly yet surely shape his circumstances. Direct quote, James Allen, 1902 or 3, so a few years before Waddles. Okay, you guys can
James
grab a free
Allen.
copy. James Allen, As a Man Thinketh, which is sort of a play on scripture, Christian scripture, right? As a man thinketh in his heart, so was he. So, so yeah, but the idea, and then we're going to hear from some other callers today. Operators are standing by. But I was in the seminar with Bob Proctor. You guys, some of you know Bob Proctor.
Yep.
He's still kicking, man. He's like 80 million years old, and he's still kicking ass on stage.
He's younger than you, John. He's younger than you.
There you go. So Proctor's talking to this group of people, and I'm like somewhere in the middle of the room. There's probably 500 people in there, right? And this guy over here in the room is saying, you know what, I'm using these techniques, and you know, I appreciate, you know, the philosophy, all this. But I've had this problem, you know, but he's talking. As soon as he got to the but I part, Bob couldn't hear him anymore. Bob's up on stage. He heard everything else just fine. But as soon as the guy, for some reason, as soon as he starts talking about his past, he's like, what? Right? He had the guy start over again, start from the beginning again. And he tells him all the good stuff. Right. And then he did this 3 times before the guy finally got what he was doing. Right. He was playing with him. Yeah. Yep. I can't hear your past. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, DL, I have no doubt about you. In fact, call me today. We got stuff to handle. You're awesome, man. All right. Look at this. We've got Rob, then Kelly, then Matthew, and then Cynthia. Hey, Rob, you've got the floor, sir. Rob N281547 to use your full Zoom name. Here he is. Hey, Rob.
Sorry, I hadn't unmuted. That's I've actually signed in on 2 computers, and I had an ID on one and ID on the other.
Okay.
John and I met about 2.5 hours ago, and I think he realizes right off the bat that if you let me talk, I'll talk, and I'll take up all the time. I'll express to everybody here, I mean, I'm thankful and grateful to be here to see all of you, and I'm overwhelmed with a sense of community. I'm overwhelmed with the fact that people want to share. To the extent that I want to welcome you to my memorial and the internment of my ego. It has been something that's been in my way for, I'm 62 years old this month, and I'm going to say that it's been in my way for 60 years. I had no idea that it was out there. I had no idea how badly I was treating people. I had myself on a pedestal, and I needed my ass kicked off that pedestal about 40 years ago. I should have been, in fact, I probably was, but didn't recognize it because I was so focused on me without knowing it, that it has done me no good. I mean, I was fairly successful, but I did some very silly things, and they haunt me. So anyway, this is a big step for me. I had no idea this was going to be a part of what I got into. I wanted to start selling coffee mugs to gain some income. It's been a real awakening of my senses, and I want to thank you all for that. This is incredible for me, and it's put me in my place. It's given me some perspective in the last 2 hours that I should have had, like I said, 40 years ago. And I want to thank you all for that, and thank you for being part of that.
Well,
Beyond that, I'd like to
Are
get
you hearing yourself in
philosophical.
another set of speakers or something? We're getting a bit of
Let
an
me,
echo.
I guess, so hang on a second. I should just kill this. There.
Ah,
Leave meeting. There we go. Sorry, I didn't realize that
Much
was
better.
happening.
yeah. all
So again, thank you all. Don't let me step outside the bounds of courteousness, of whatever. You just slap me down. I'm going to ask you for all your help. Rob, shut up already. You know, we've had enough of this.
I got a
But-
mute button on you. I could just click it at any point.
Yeah, but you just in listening to you speak about Proctor and this gentleman's past, that's a very valid point, and it's something that there's a lot of baggage in here. That's, you know, I got to open the back door and let it out if that makes sense.
Right.
So I really don't have I think I got a lot to say, but in this particular forum at this particular time, it's more of a thanks and more of a you know, Rob, you got to take this forward. You have to remember this meeting. You have to remember the 9:30 meeting. You have to remember all of the points and give people some validity, which I mean, I've been like this for 60 years. Like, I'm looking at you, but I don't see you. And what's beyond that? Like, it is not necessarily for my own benefit. It was just, I think, an ego trap that I got into when I was probably 12 years old, and people were validating me. Oh, you're so good. You're good for you. You're a young kid and you're doing all this. And wow, I was writing newspaper articles and somehow that subliminally got into my head, got into my personality, and I just kind of, I'm me. And I don't even know how my marriage has survived for as long as it has, because I have just been. I'm going through an awakening, and I'm going through a memorial service. I just came up with that little idea. I'm going to bury that ego, and it's going to surface. It's going to pop up, but I want to try to keep crushing it. And yeah, John, if I do any kind of reading, I am that guy that reads one page and kind of gets stuck on a word. No, I understand the word. I'm not illiterate in that regard, but it's one of these. I get 2 paragraphs and I'm out. So, but I said to my wife today, the quiet time, the reading, the exercise, and then the purposeful doing some purposeful work, if you will.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to make that a regime, and it's so true. I used to look at these guys when I was working in the workaday world, and you'd see guys in suits going to the gym, and I'm going, hey, what are you guys here? Well, you got to put that suit on, and you go back to your desk sweaty and smelly. I don't need that. What do I need that for?
Right.
I see it now. I see
Very
it
good.
now.
Well, we're glad you're here, Rob. This is just the beginning, and it's a journey of discovery via modalities, e-commerce. Fine, okay, but this is about you. So glad you're here, man. We've got we had 3 other hands up. I think we just dropped one, but we're about to hear. Get ready, everyone. Get ready, because Kelly Fisher is about to speak. Kelly, you have the floor, please. Kelly.
You're so funny. Thank you. What an introduction.
Yeah.
Hi, and thank you so much. And it's just lovely. It's great to be here. It's great to be a part of this. And I think that more and more there's just going to be so many hidden treasures in this whole experience, in this process, and treasure in many, many ways. And even within me, I just wanted to share just an insight that I had this morning when I was having a ponder over the why. You know, the why. Why am I here? Why am I doing this? And you spoke about purpose. And really, I got this sense. I'm a real prayerful kind of person, so I heard in my spirit, it's time to slay that dragon. I'm like, oh, what kind of dragon? And I realized when I pondered a little further, there's a dragon of fear, right? And it's fear, and it is fear and intimidation in the whole system of how a business runs, how a business operates, all the technology. There's so many dragons in all of that. And I got this kind of visual of a big mountain. And the challenge is to literally climb that mountain. But we don't have to climb it by ourselves. And we got someone to lead us along the way. And it's not necessarily going to be easy, but it's going to be really worthy. And then DL said something, because he said something about dragon, right? The stuff we're dragging behind. So then I'm like, maybe it's like a play on words, right? Like time to slay the dragon means cut the cord from all the stuff you're dragging behind you, dragon, Draggin, and slay it so that you can climb the mountain. So that's what I wanted to share. I'm on the treasure hunt here. It looks like it's going to be good fun.
Oh, beautiful, Kelly. So glad you're here with us. We got to meet for the first time was yesterday. When was that? Yeah, I think so.
Yesterday I was on yesterday's call. Yeah, I just joined in this week someday. I'm in quarantine right now, so every day blurs together.
Right. Well, we're all quarantined together then. So good for you. That's Kelly, everyone. She's awesome.
Hi, everybody.
All right. Matthew, and then Annette, and I think we're going to wrap up here. Hey, Matthew.
Yeah, I'm here. I was just going to say, and it's been a while, just responding to DL's comment about having tried and feeling like failed in the changes with doing some of the exercises. I was just going to make 2 points. One is that providing results in what you want to achieve is really about adopting a lifestyle rather than trying something and kind of seeing if it's going to work. The more you can make it kind of a lifestyle, get up, get silent, do some exercise, to have a routine, the more it becomes a lifestyle, the more it becomes closer to kind of your identity, and it builds its own momentum regardless of what it is you're trying to get through. The breakthroughs, almost like the Beatles becoming a success over, like it's an overnight success if you're not part of the band, but if you know the story of the band, they did a lot of prior work before they became a success, right? So if you also, I found in studying successful people and successful books, people know that their lifestyle is what makes them successful, so they don't put as much emphasis on the actual results. Their confidence comes from what they know they consistently do. And they also have the knowledge that most other people aren't doing, right? So they know they're effective because if you live like no one else, eventually you'll build a life unlike anyone else. So I just wanted to say that as well as, just keep going. It's really about, I think, the life that you're building really is not about even the result. It's not about the Bugatti. It's not about the house. As John says, like, it's really about the feeling that these things give you. And to take it a step further, once you're able to manufacture these feelings, you'll find that you attract the things that make you feel the same way. So I'll copy. But thank you for everybody's time and listening.
Thank you, Matthew. Really glad you're here, man. All right, Annette. Annette has the floor, and then I think we're going to be wrapping up. Hey, Annette.
Hello. Hi.
There she is.
Here I am. Hi. So I'm fairly new and working my way through the videos, getting the lay of the land, and really loving these videos, finding them very encouraging. And so what I wanted to share today is when you use the word but, that as soon as somebody says the word but, from my training, I've learned that you're about to negate everything you just said. So as soon as somebody says but, they're gonna, like, I'm gonna, pay you that money tomorrow, but, or, well, they're about to negate everything. So that's why it's a big flag. So there's 3 words. The other one is should, is that it's a word to not use on ourselves or others. Don't say I should do something, because first of all, you're not going to do it. And they won't either. You should do this. Well, maybe I should, but I'm not going to. Or so don't do it to yourself or others. And finally, when you're to say, I'm going to do something, not I want to do something. This really came up for me when I quit smoking almost 15 years ago, cigarettes. I don't smoke anything. And it was, I'm going to try to quit smoking. No, I see. No, I'm going to quit smoking. Not I want to quit smoking, or I want to succeed in this program. For example, yeah, I really want to succeed in this low-hanging program. No, it's I'm going to. It's an action. So I hope that's helpful to somebody. It's been helpful to me, not butting, shooting, or whoops, it sounded funny on myself or other people. Thanks.
Awesome. Awesome. Congratulations on those cognitions, right? Because we keep talking ourselves into the ground. But yeah, the whole I am a non-smoker, present tense. Okay. And then, right. And then bringing that
Yes,
reality.
okay.
Yeah. Present
Okay.
tense. Sometimes that's all we got to do, folks, is like, just put whatever we're about to negatively affirm to ourselves, just put it in the past. Like, instead of I am always late, I have been always late, or I have a history of lateness. Okay, that's not now, like in present time, right? Okay, fine.
Okay.
I'm not lying to myself, but I'm properly putting things in the past that deserve to be in the past. So that's Danette, everyone. She's awesome. Glad you're hearing that. Thank you. Thank you for that. What time is it? We've been talking for an hour. How did that happen? Yeah, I know some other people had to exit. So let's have a great weekend. Huh? What do you guys think? Should we do that? Yeah. Should we do this again next week? What do you think? On Monday, we'll get back together?
Yep.
Okay, let's do it. I'll see you guys.